Her Opinion Show, the podcast you didn't know you needed. Real talk, bold truth, her voice, her vision, her rules. Let's get into it.
Welcome back to Her Opinion. We're so excited. We have such a great special guest with us today. We have Centrell Reed with us. Thank you so much for being here on Her Opinion.
Listen, Centrell.
I'm super
You know I'm
excited.
coming for you.
Hey, we wanted this to be different, real,
Yes.
raw. We want the Centrell that nobody knows.
Oh, wow.
I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
She's like,
Did
she
I
said
sign up for
no.
this?
Yeah,
She
yeah.
did say no, but I just wanted to, let me explain that a little bit before we get into everything
Knock
about
yourself
you.
out.
So one of the things is a lot of us women have a lot of things that we carry with us that a lot of people don't know. And one of the things that brings us together is all of those things. And so like when I meet a woman on the street or a woman in a business setting or whatever, when we get to know each other, it's like, girl, me too. Girl, I didn't know that about you. Wow. You know, we learned about maybe struggles. We learned about these things.
Sure.
So on this show, that's what it's about. Not that we're going to break you down, but to know, like, how did Centrell get here? Because we don't just get here that easy.
Yeah.
We absolutely do not. And thank you, ladies, for having me on Her Opinion.
Thanks
I
for being
appreciate
here.
that. And just so you know, I'm always real when I show up. The deal is that everyone doesn't get the benefit of all of your story. So as we start to build relationships and things like that, we want to make sure we protect those things that are close to the vest and the heart. Yet, for sure, when you meet me, there's no representative. There's just a few things that you probably wouldn't know and maybe shouldn't know because you're like not my bestie from back in the day. And back in the day is only like 25 years ago. So
And I
just-
ain't mad
just
at that.
That's what I
Listen,
say.
I'm
Just
not
25
mad at
years
that.
ago.
25 again.
Yeah.
Because
something like
I'm
that.
probably the same. Jen will probably tell you when you meet me,
Yeah.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
But it depends on the circumstance, and
For
I'll
sure.
be a little bit more opening. But I'm with you. You can't let everybody in
For
right
sure.
away.
You've got to protect that energy and that peace. Yet I am super excited to be here.
Yes.
You ladies are killing it and
Thank
you're
you.
doing so many great things for ladies. Just have a platform. I love that for Houston. And not because I own a media company. It's because of the fact that we don't put on a pedestal all of the things that Houston has to offer. And we have to do that a little bit more. And so when people are out there and they're shining and they're getting their work out and they're bringing other people in, I love to see it.
We love that you're in the entertainment industry. You know, that's one of the things and you have a network.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So Creed Global Media is a company I started over 7 years ago. So 7, the big number of completion. I love it because there's constant learnings.
Yeah.
I started as a production studio here in Houston in the Galleria area, and 4,000 square feet, was doing big things. This was pre-COVID, obviously. And I had so many people coming through the studio just to do shows and podcasts and platforms like what we're doing here. And it was great. And we had a lot of celebrities popping through. And then in comes COVID, right? And we transitioned because that's what you do. You
Yeah,
pivot.
for
You know,
sure.
as women, I think that we're very resourceful. We figure it out. Yet everybody who was a business owner had to be resourceful and figure it out. So we figured it out. Yet during that time, I had a number of people asking me, why is it that this is the biggest studio that we have in Houston? And I'm thinking that's impossible. 4,000 square feet is nowhere near what we need. I lived in LA. I lived in Atlanta. So we're talking about 100,000 square foot plus studios, sound stages, et cetera. So I said, well, they're not taking the conversations to the right people. Let me go sit down with our then mayor, Mayor Turner. And I said, hey, everyone's asking me about why we don't have sound stages, why we don't have studios, why we don't have an infrastructure that supports the creative community. And he said, well, I run the city. Can you help me build community? And I said yes. And the International Entertainment Partnership was formed. And that's how we moved forward. Yet my company, Creed Global Media, was always focused on giving a voice, giving a platform. And then we branched into network TV. Digitally on smart TVs, your Roku, Apple, Amazons, your Google apps, all of that good stuff, because technology was becoming big. And for those that don't know my background, I'm a project manager certified. I worked in tech building apps and building platforms on the internet and the web for big financial institutions. So I took that and I was like, how can we monetize from the content? And we started doing that. And then it just became more and more popular. Yet YouTube is still the thing that everyone talks about, even though only 1% of the people on YouTube make money. And my goal is to give accessibility,
Right.
not just to streaming services, to the revenue that comes from having your brand as a business and from having the presence of being on smart TVs all over the world, not just on social platforms that are on your mobile device. So that was my start, and it all came from me actually being in front of the camera and being exactly where each and every one of you in our creative community is, to give them something
You were saying
different.
something about that, you can't be the only one. Houston's got to have more.
For sure.
I think one of the problems is that we came from an era of no social media, of not being able to put your business out there. And then it got thrown in, and everybody was supposed to be on social media showing their businesses off. And a lot of people didn't know how to navigate.
Yeah.
And we see those ones that are on social media blowing up, pushing, doing all these things. And that's how you say, oh, there's that place, there's that place, there's that place. And it's just huge nowadays because social media is free if you know how to use it to advertise and put your business out there. So did you see that was a problem for Houston for a long time, and now you're seeing more?
So Houston has a marketing opportunity. Houston still has a marketing opportunity. There are a number of projects that I hear come to Houston, and we never hear about them until they've left, right? That's like having somebody come over to your house, walk in, go straight to the refrigerator, take a snack, and then walk right out the door. It's like, wait, what just happened?
Exactly.
Right? So really what we do a lot of in Houston, because we're oil and gas focused, so we need to know that. And I love that I have a corporate background, because it's not just social media grown. I didn't grow my business from just coming out of high school and jumping on social media. And there's a difference. I've seen what it looks like to create a roadmap. I've seen what it looks like to have conversations with C-suite and all of these different things, because that was the position that I was in. So now think of the creative who's like, I'm going to do this, I'm gritty, I'm jumping on social media, and they just get it done. And they're figuring it out along the way, how they build a team, or maybe don't build a team, they use the tech, right? And then think about what it looks like when someone comes from corporate. They know how to train people, they know how to build people up, they've seen the different positions, all of that stuff. For Houston goes where they want the people to come from, and that is globally. This is why we are the 4th largest and the most international city in the world. We have the biggest diverse population. Yet the problem with that is that the population is here. And when we go out to get them, that's where our marketing is. We forget to cultivate. And that's what the IEP does. We're cultivating the community here. We're bringing opportunities to come into Houston so that the people that are here can be put to work. We don't want the people coming in and not nurturing the people that are in the city. And that's where we have our opportunity.
We love that, because we have so much talent here.
Yes.
And it's so sad that the talent that has risen here leaves here.
Yes.
And we want it to stay here.
Yeah.
And that's where the IEP and all the opportunities come, because just like you said, any kind of event, anything, we never hear about it.
That's true.
There's nothing out there that talks about it. And like I said, the talented people, we want them to stay here. We want people to come here.
Yeah.
But not only that, I think a lot of times, because me being on the other side for the content creator, the influencer side, we see a lot of where you come to Houston, you come to Texas because it's cheaper.
Yes.
Because they want to get lower rates. And if you haven't stepped out into different cities, different states, then you undercharge. And we see a lot of that too. And I think it's time for Houston to step up, because we need that information. We need to know that we're undercharging, where they're coming here specifically for that. And so how do we get recognized, right? And say, no, not here, not at our city, because we're just as great as the California, New York.
Yeah. Yeah. To get recognized is the thing. So I recently had some conversations at the Texas Capitol. For most people know, $500 million is on the line for incentives every 2 years, and for the next 10 years. That's $250 million a year. That is still behind Louisiana, which is my home state, and Georgia, that have 300 plus million a year, plus, or 400 million plus a year in Georgia. We are just now taking that leap. Yet let me also tell you what we need from each one of you. I went to the Capitol. Several members of the IEP leadership team and committees have gone to the Capitol. And you know what we find? There's no one else from Houston at the Capitol. Right?
Wow.
So when you think about when the dollars come in, and there are incentives that already exist, yet whoever's representing, that's where a lot of the attention goes.
Yeah.
So you're at the Capitol, you've got Austin, you've got the Matthew McConaughey's, you've got all of these, the Richard Linklaters, you've got all of these people that are there and they're pushing their industry. And we are the biggest city in this state. And you don't see us there. So we need to be present. Essentially, that's what we need to do. We need to be present, and we also need to create infrastructure, to your point, Nusheen, that we have to have something here for Houston that we say, we want projects coming here, come talk to us. Yes, we want to give you the opportunity to hire our people, get the rebates from hotels, get the permits in a quicker way, right? We want to make it all easy for you. Come to us so that we can make sure that we activate our people and our creative workforce in the right way for these new projects. And we have to create that in Houston.
So we know the IEP is doing great things and trying to transition and make these things happen. But like, as an outside person looking in, that now I'm watching this podcast and I say, oh, I'd like to know more, or I'd like to figure out how can I fit in this?
Yeah.
We don't have that branch, right, at City Hall. We don't have the
connection or the
creative
person.
department.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have that. We have all these other departments, but how do we get a creative department going? How do we get, IEP is only so much. You can only do so much, and you can only like start the fire. But then when are we going to implement it and say we need a creative department and I need to be able to call because I do this and what's out here in Houston that I could maybe find work or fit in?
Because I'm pretty sure we're not the only ones asking it.
No, you're not the only ones asking it, and it's in the works. And it may not be something that is at our city level, right? Because we have the Mayor's Office of Cultural Affairs, so they focus on some things as well. And I believe that there is a bigger aspect. You have this in LA, you have it in New York, you have it even in cities like Detroit. It's an entertainment commission, council, something of that nature. And there's opportunities for us to create that leadership that focuses on bringing those opportunities here. And then how do you tap in?
Right.
One, IEP Greater HOU on your social media, or the International Entertainment Partnership on your social media. We want you to connect with the org. There are a number of community organizations that we work with that are also doing their part. What we don't need is duplication. We don't want people creating new orgs and slicing up all of the effort. Come together so that each org that already exists is operating in their genius space. They're doing the thing that they can 100% focus on. And then all of you say, you know what, I'm really good at podcasting. I can get the word out. I'm really good at graphics. I can get the word out. We are not LA 100 plus years, right, in the making. We are a little bit more in the infant stages. Yeah. So we do have to build. So people do have to be able to come in and say, yeah, I want to put some time into this.
We need the little documentaries, the little movies building up to what we're going to be.
Yeah.
And they're there, yet we also need the help.
Right,
700 square miles.
I feel like we do need the help when it comes to all these filmmakers that are sitting in Houston that want to make these films about Houston, that are about our culture, about all the things great. How do they get those funds? How are they, you know what I'm saying? We need this done for our city.
For sure. And so having an entity that's focused on those projects, you can bring dollars in. The other thing is the IEP, in honor of our visionary, who's our former mayor, we are creating an entertainment fund. And that is going to be where people can pour in dollars to support giving scholarships, apprenticeships, internships, making sure that you have funds for your next entertainment project. So our visionary, then Mayor Sylvester Turner, when I was talking to him about, we need money, we need resources, we need this, we need that. And he was like, he needs to see the $1 billion proposition. And it's not TV and film. TV and film out the gate is not a $1 billion proposition. It took Atlanta 10 years, almost 10 years before they got to a multi-billion-dollar economy from TV, film, and all the other ancillary things, craft services, all of the different folks that are working in the industry. So why would we expect that we would do it overnight? We wouldn't. Yet we do have a big weight on our back oil and gas. And people look at oil and gas and say, oh, we have oil and gas. Why do we need this?
Right.
Texas has to be its own thing. Houston has to be its own unique entity and do entertainment differently. So while we need the resources, 9 sectors help us to get the volume, help us to get the dollars, and we have a lot of support. It's not just from the business sector. It's not just from us sitting here and having conversation or the members of the IEP. We have creatives. We have organizations. We have other people who want to see this happen. And now I believe we're going to see a lot more of that traction, especially with our legislator talking about $500 million for incentives. That means more projects will come. Yet the question is, will they come to Houston or will they go to other cities? And we need to advocate for them to come here.
So breaking that down, when you said there's so many more, different divisions, outlets, or in that creative space, what are you talking about besides?
So besides TV and film, art, theater, esports,
You hear that?
gaming, right? Music. Even though music is there, we have a focus on a particular genre of music, so we need to branch out. So music, fashion, photography. We have one of the most renowned art and theater districts in Houston, and they are struggling to get people to even know that they're there. We started Art for Lunch with the IEP supporting one of our community partnership leads in art, and they're an art curator. We want these studios to be known. We want creatives to know that, hey, one day their art could be on the wall and that somebody's going to pay them for all of their artistic efforts. So you have that. And then you have all the growing stuff that's involved in all of those genres. Yet you don't do those overnight.
Yeah.
You do those with people coming out and saying, I would like to see this. You watch the times change and you realize that esports and gaming becomes something totally different. Yet you will see programming from the IEP when you tap in. Make sure that you're checking us out on social media, or you go to iepgreaterhou.org and you are tapped in. Then you're going to get the notifications. Because to your point, it's like, how would I know? How would I know? Unless you're following pages and algorithms are in your favor, like most of the 2.3 million people in this city would not see our posts. And you're definitely not just randomly going to websites. So you got to tap in, and we've got to share. Hey, tap into the IEP.
And so also too, one of the things that you would think your city would be providing you with that information, there'd be like, you could go to the website and find out what's going on in the city, but we're not seeing that. We see that that's lacking. And so like you said, I mean, if somebody like, let's say for esports or Netflix came to the city, who do they go to? They're going to go to the city? No. They're not going to go to the city unless they're going for permits.
And we hear some rumors that sometimes Netflix wants to come over here, but then something happens and then they go somewhere else.
Because there's so many other things that go into that, right?
Yeah.
It's what you discuss when you're talking about buildings and people and resources and land and taxes
and Houston's old school mentality.
Yes.
Hey,
Keeping stuff away.
Right. So so the deal is that who do they go to? Well, we have spaces and places in our government for people to pick up the phone and call and say, I want to do a project here. You also have the Houston Film Commission that reviews scripts and helps people find locations. And as they potentially even expand those offerings, those are the places that are resources right now. There's Houston First for conventions and all of those things. And we look forward to partnering even more with those organizations. One of our board members for the IEP founded Comic Palooza. And that is a convention that brings thousands of people into the city every year. And the city said there's value in that. They bought that, right? And then they continue to do other projects, yet it's like the tree falls in the forest and do you hear it, right? We have a lot going on in the city. We have a big city, and we just have to do a better job marketing.
Right.
And we definitely have to do a better job connecting and collaborating.
I agree.
And one of the things is that people don't have that information. They don't know who to call.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of talent, a lot of people that have ideas that they want to bring, but they think, oh, no, I need to go to LA to make this happen.
Yeah.
When we could do it here.
We want to change that mindset.
Yes.
Just first, I would say check into the IEP, because the other thing is we know what we can provide, yet we would be better informed when you tell us what you need, right? So tap into us, let us know, and then we can say, hey, this is feedback coming from our creative community. They want these resources. We need these dollars, right? And then as the times change and technology gets better and more savvy, or you know, you're in spaces or you see some things that are happening and you're like, I need that.
Right.
Can the IEP do that? Help us to serve you. Yeah.
So you're from NOLA.
I'm from New Orleans.
Yes.
Yes.
What brought you here to Houston?
So interesting. I was living in New Orleans and my sister was living here in Houston, and she was like, I think you're done with New Orleans. She can be a little bossy. Right. So I think you're done with New Orleans. You should come here with me. Yeah. And I was like, every time I come see you, those freeways, they're packed.
Yes.
I mean, it's crazy.
That's what everybody says.
Still like that.
There's no zoning.
It only got worse.
Right. Yet Houston has been great. I've been here now 12 years, and we've had a fun time. And I would say that this is probably the most accessible city I've ever lived in. I'm glad that I started a business here because I've lived in California. I've lived in Atlanta. I've lived obviously in New Orleans, and my family is a little more connected there because we're entrenched in the city and the community. Yet here in Houston, I found the ability to get connected to my leaders, my civic leaders. A lot of people say, oh, well, Centrell, you're political. I'm not. I am more of a people advocate, right? I'm more of a people advocate. I want to see the right things done for people. And I believe that in order for you to do that, you need to link arms with people that are in charge of serving people.
That can get things done.
Yeah.
For sure.
How did you get into the politics? Was it here, or were you already kind of involved in NOLA, or?
So in NOLA, my family is involved in politics. I've had family members run for office and things of that nature. Never was my thing. I wasn't even thinking about running for Congress when I did. I was asked to represent women and to represent business owners and to step in.
It just means you do it well.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. And you know what? You never know. I might
in your
do
blood.
I might
It's
do it
in
again.
I feel like you are.
It won't be anytime
Yes,
soon,
I think
though.
so.
My focus is the IEP and growing Cree Global Media and making sure that everyone has what they need first, because foundation first. Yet when I came to Houston, the biggest welcome, I mean, I would say anyone who wants to get connected to our city government, I mean, there's 50 million events you can go to. When I started my business, I was going to like 4 or 5 events a week just to connect and become known. I was a new business owner, so it's the networking that you do.
Yeah.
So you do that, and then you start to build relationships, and you start to understand, hey, this is the person I can go to. At least have a person I can ask a question to. And I want that for all the business owners, and for the business owners that want to get involved in things like World Cup, right? The IEP is working with By Houston. We want to get those businesses certified so that when the opportunities come up, then we're a resource for you, yet you're certified and you become a preferred vendor.
And that's important too, to understand that part. Are you certified? Do they know about you? Are you on the list?
Are you on the list?
Are you on the list? Because I think those are crucial things that, I mean, it doesn't matter what you do in this city.
Yeah.
Be on the list.
Yes.
Please be on the list.
Yes.
The list could be long,
Yes.
yet the thing is that in order for you to know,
Yeah.
people have to know to email you, so you have to be on their list.
And when it's your time, it's your time.
Yeah.
There might
That's
be
right.
50 people on that list, but somehow you got picked.
The angels at work.
Yes.
At work.
You
So
never know.
We want to get to know you a little bit more. I'm going to do a little
Trivia?
rapid fire.
Ooh,
Okay.
rapid fire.
So you're going to ask me, so I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you a phrase, this or that.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell me which one you prefer. All right.
All right.
So let's go. Early mornings or late nights?
Ooh, both.
Both. Okay. Coffee first or silence first?
Silence.
Okay. Public speaking or behind the scenes?
Behind the scenes, and people
Really?
would not believe that. They don't believe
You
it when
talk
I say
really
it.
great. You're
I so prefer it. Yet I was told a long
Great
time
speaker.
ago, stop saying that. And
I'm with you, because
Yeah.
somebody would say that about me, but I'm
Yeah.
behind it. I told you my
Yeah.
days
Yeah,
in
yeah.
school.
Yeah.
And somehow you just wind up here and you're like, okay, God.
yeah. I
Right?
guess that I gotta do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
high heels or sneakers?
Ooh, I don't do sneakers, yet I wear 5-toe shoes. So I wear
Okay.
Vibrams, yet definitely workout gear and just chilling. When I'm out and about on brand, you're
Okay.
going to see
I
high
have to
heels.
5-toe shoes.
Yes, so
This
they're called
has a little-
Vibrams.
Those are the,
5
are
fingers.
those the,
Yes.
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
Lord.
I love them.
Let me
I
not
run
see
in
you
them.
on the
I
street.
yoga.
Really?
You want to see me on the street? I have them here. Like, it could happen.
She's like, I got them in the
She's got it in
car
the
after
car.
I take these
I
off.
am in these streets with my 5-toe shoes on. Yes.
All right. Vision board or journal?
Ooh, both.
You do both. Okay. Solo trip or girls getaway?
Love the girls' getaways.
I love that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strategy meeting or creative brainstorm?
Ooh, now that is a good one.
Both, I would say.
I would say the strategy meeting should have some creativity in it. So I would love to say both. Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is an important one because we were talking about this earlier. Phone
Single or
call
taken?
or text message?
Ooh, phone call. Yeah, I was
Really?
for sure. Yeah,
okay.
let me explain that one. So when we can talk, I want to talk. I want to
Okay.
hear your voice. I want to get to know you. I'm from the South. That's
Yeah.
what we do. We fellowship, we eat, we drink.
Yeah.
We like to talk, right? Yet when the days are busy, then yes, for sure, you can catch me on text message and I'm going to get you everything that you need until we can have a conversation.
Okay, Centrell Creed. You mean text me so I can book you an appointment for a call?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
She'll
text
make
me because
time.
you need something right now, or you're just saying hi, and then
Yeah.
later when we get that break, then it's like, what's
Because
up?
there
you
you
know
go.
how because people will say that, right?
Yeah,
And then when someone calls, they'll be like, "Oh, not right now."
I know.
That's why I'm saying text
have
me
an
because
automatic-
it'll be more like a, hey, what's up? Can you know,
Yeah.
what do you
Yeah,
need?
yeah.
Is it something important? Oh, yeah, everything's good, whatever
We'll
the case
talk
is, and
later.
then we'll chat,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Or it's just a, how are you doing? Like that kind of thing. Yeah, I don't want paragraphs in text.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Okay. Blue text or green text?
You know what?
Oh, we already know.
I won't deal with this type of
All right.
Harassment.
right, electronic device discrimination.
We're not even gonna tell y'all, but y'all probably can figure it out there.
All right. Netflix binge or a good book?
Oh, I would do a Netflix binge. I'll tell you some of the shows that I really, really like. And you're going to be like, oh,
That way
I
we
knew
can
you were
get to
going
know
say
you.
this. Madam Secretary.
I
Okay,
love
that's
that
a
one.
good
Yeah. That's a good
Have you
one.
guys seen Borgen?
No.
Borgen, no, I don't
Yes.
think so.
What is that?
That is
Is that
actually
new?
about. It's probably newer. It's definitely newer than Madam Secretary. It is about the Prime Minister of Denmark, the first female Prime Minister of Denmark. And I don't know. I'm intrigued by those
Inspiring.
type
No,
of
I
shows.
like stuff like that, yeah.
Diplomat. Those are kind of like all the political
Yeah.
shows. Yet I love
House of
things like
Cards?
Queen of the South.
I love that one.
that.
Yeah.
Yes, and the most recent ones, From Scratch with Zoe Saldana, really enjoyed that one. So I would binge watch something that's just really good content. Like I loved This Is Us. It was like one of those
I loved
all the
that.
feels
Yeah.
shows.
It was a great all the feels show
All
for
the
sure.
feels show.
But you know what? You said book or Netflix, and so the funny thing is, I have to say this, and just to get y'all's opinion, is that I'm a Netflix all the way. But you know, every motivational speaker, will say
Yeah.
book,
Oh,
book,
yeah.
book, book. I swear, when I open up a book,
right?
you know,
No, I do
like,
audiobooks.
I
do
open
just
audiobooks.
audiobooks.
No, I'm an audiobook
Yeah.
now, but I'm saying is I've tried so many times to be
yeah.
that person.
Yeah.
And then now I just do it because I need to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
I
open
used
the book.
I used to be, but now I'm an audiobook.
I'm an
all the way.
audiobooker. Like I have a nice long
Yeah.
list. I
Like
like
a
to listen
podcast,
to
like
Yeah.
an
for sure.
audiobook, just
Yeah.
For sure.
running.
Yet I
doing
have a
what you do.
choice. I'm for sure going
Oh,
with the
for
Netflix.
sure.
Yet every day I'm listening to a portion of a book.
Yeah,
So
me
that
too.
is happening.
I do the same. I drive a lot, so I do the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So glam day or sweatpants day?
Sweatpants day.
Okay.
I mean, the glam day, I feel like it has to happen like every day. Like just,
Yes. Okay.
it's always great not to have all that on.
All right. Talking it out or writing it down?
Talking it out.
Okay.
Because I feel like when you write it down, it's like email. Like, have you ever read an email and you think someone means one thing and they totally meant something else? I'd rather just have
Do you
the
mean for the
conversation.
other person or to get it off your chest?
To get it off your chest. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, like
I'd rather talk it out.
talk it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. All right, and the last one.
Uh-oh.
Okay. If there's one thing you always have in your bag, what is it in your purse? Besides your phone.
Right. Well, you guys don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
hear about my phone. Yeah. I always have some lip gloss.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Something on the lips because
Yeah.
it gets dry over here.
And listen, you got
hot. It gets
that
and hot, yeah.
chapstick, deodorant.
Yeah, all that stuff.
But I have one question to ask you.
Yeah. Yeah. Go
There she
ahead.
goes.
Go
Single,
ahead.
single or taken?
Undisclosed.
No
Situationship?
comment. No comment. Yeah.
Undisclosed.
Okay, I thought I'd just try to ask.
I knew she was gonna throw
I
it
thought
in
I'd
there.
just
let
try
us
to
know
ask. If you're
after.
interested, send a DM.
Right?
Please
we get
don't.
enough of them. You have to say something.
I've had a number of folks sliding in my DMs
Oh, there you go.
And if you're her man, send us a DM. Let
They're
us know.
just kidding.
Claim
They're
your
just
woman.
kidding. I love that. I love the crazy thing is that I meet so many people all the time, and they always wonder whether I'm single or I'm with someone because I don't ever bring anyone
them
to
guessing.
events.
and they try to look at your hands.
They're looking at the hands.
Yeah,
Oh my
they're
God,
like,
I
which one
didn't
is
know.
it?
And I'm like, check the fingers.
Kids,
Not yet.
not yet. Okay. So
I have 2 doggies, and unfortunately, they've been confiscated by my grandmother, who's 96. So I'm happy to let her
that's
have
okay.
them.
you'll
Yeah.
get them back
Yeah, yeah.
eventually.
I don't think I will.
No.
No, they are quite spoiled and running the house. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
we love that. We love getting
was
to know
fun.
you a little bit more
This
too.
was fun. Thank you for having me,
Yes.
ladies. This
were
has
you
been
so
nervous?
much.
Not at all.
Okay.
I was
I'm
more nervous
Are you
than
coming
you.
back?
I was
Are
more
you
nervous
coming
than
back?
you.
You know what? I'm coming back.
Okay.
I mean,
Alright.
we can throw a whole
Good.
segment and theme on this.
All right.
Yeah.
Next one's
The
going to
next
be
one.
crawfish.
I thought you were going to say the next
No
one's going to be
love.
all about relationships.
The
And I'm like, you know what,
grenades.
Nisha?
Oh, okay.
That's how you're going to do
There
it?
you go.
If you come on my segment, it will be.
Yeah.
And sweats.
And sweats. We might need to be in
For sure.
bikinis because it's hot on
I
this
know.
set.
Well,
for sure.
turn it up. Show how hot
Yeah.
girl summer you are. But it's coming. It's around the corner. You know, it is
Yes.
Texas. Jen's already hot. So.
I'm already feeling I had to cool myself down.
But we had a great time. Glad you finally made it
Yes.
on.
I
We've been
know.
waiting
Yes.
on this, and it's
so
been a great
much.
season for us. So I'm glad you got to make it to
Yes,
season 2.
finally.
And I
Cheers,
can't wait
girl.
to see what's coming for IEP in Houston.
Yes,
We're excited.
everyone, please tap into
Yes.
IEP for everything that they're asking for. We want to give it. It is our 6th anniversary
Oh, wow.
this
Amazing.
year. We are going to be doing some exclusive events and surprises. Would love to invite you guys and would
Yes.
love to have our bigger community come and see what we're doing. Yet, whatever you're asking for, you need to be a part of the solution.
That's right. If
Sure.
you want it, make it happen. Go seek it. And
You'll
I
find
think
it.
I'm ready for Houston to do big things.
Let's do
I'm
that.
definitely ready.
We're here for it.
We're here for it.
Let's
Till
go
the next
H-Town,
one.
baby.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.